at the Bapagan TV, so me ding at the Maame Yaa Adobea aside. And near Benada do not know soon for saying, my health, my wealth, Jimmy and I your dear brother. And that's from Cook Santi, but chain and come on up with you. And we'll come to talk about healthy dieting, what you should take in and what you shouldn't take in at what time and all those things. And so, I'm going to share information. Yeah, Pepper could try a more back. The stress I wouldn't like it, page, not like it. Won't share it, so I'll share my number for. I feel your YouTube channel, no subscribing, I'll be subscribing. Yeah, but yeah. And then better choose down from one far a DD, your pomodin with the dear home. Anything no, you ever put any of them so Dixon. You are welcome. Thank you for honoring the invitation to be a resource person for this evening.
It's a pleasure, Ms. Adobea, to be here. First of all, I would like to also use this opportunity to thank the Almighty God for granting us this day to discuss a topic as this, only to help the multitudes out there.
So, I hope you are doing good.
By God's grace, I'm very fine. Yourself?
I'm also very fine. So without wasting my time, we will delve into our topic for tonight. What is dieting? You know, most of us have an idea about what dieting is. But then as a physician assistant student, I'd like you to break it down in your own words what dieting is.
All right. Thank you very much for the question. Using the word dieting, I see it more like it's an English word, which definitely has different meanings based on the content or context in which it's being used. So with regards to this program, that is my health, my wealth. When we talk about dieting, I would say that dieting has to do with an act of managing, okay, the amount of foods and then drinks an individual consumes with the intention of gaining, losing, or maintaining his or her weight.
Great. So you are breaking down the term dieting to us. But don't add a word healthy to it, making it a catchphrase of healthy dieting. It changes the whole definition to some extent.
Definitely.
So can you tell us what healthy dieting too is about?
Okay. So bringing the second word, healthy. Okay. On the aspect of healthy, healthy is also an adjective, okay, that is used to qualify any act that seems to indicate or promote health. All right. So combining the two, I would say that healthy dieting has to do with a deliberate act of managing the amount of food and drink an individual consumes, basically to maintain, to lose, or to gain weight in a healthy manner.
Great. That's very great. So our next question is, which people should practice healthy dieting?
Wow. I love this question, actually. Thank you. I would say everyone. Everyone should practice healthy diet?
Where everyone knows.
All right. Basically, when we take the population of our country, for instance, what lies in there is that we have three groups of people. Okay, we have basically there should be two, if I should say, but at the end thereof, they are going to be three. We have people who died healthily and those who don't do it. And so when we come to those who don't do it, they tend to undergo a state or a condition we call malnutrition. And in that form, it comes in two different extremes, where we have those who are over nutrition and those who are under nutrition. And then the normal people I mentioned first are those who fall in between these two extremes. So when we talk about healthy dieting, I would say everyone. Because one thing too I would like to add is that on the aspect of healthy dieting, we have to know that the system works on the basis of balance. So to be able to stay healthy, you have to be within that balance, which of course is a range, okay, within which you have to find yourself. When you veer off that range, then you have a problem, being either under nourished or what? Over nourished, which of course I would say over nutrition.
Okay, that's great. Before we go into our next question, we know that dieting is for every living organism.
Okay.
Every living thing eats. I'm talking human beings and animals.
All right.
So, don't you think, um, um, we are talking about us as people, all right?
Definitely.
But then I want you to let the audience know also that there is a particular kind of dieting for every living organism. When animals have their share, so do humans. Please, do you agree with me?
Yes, perfect.
So, we just wanted you to know that when it comes to dieting, we're not talking about only human beings, but a normal circumstance, every living organism eats. But then today we are looking at us as people. Next time we may delve into other aspects. So the third question we have for you is, what does it take to do healthy dieting? I mean, people want to live healthy. People want to eat well. But some people just don't know how to go about their feeding. So we want to know what it takes to do a healthy dieting.
All right. Thank you very much for the question once more. Um, should I say your question in a way had the answer, but then I would like to still mention it. Okay. What does it take for an individual to do what we are discussing, which is what? Healthy diet. So I would say that it takes knowledge backed by discipline to do healthy diet. What do I mean by that? The first aspect, which is knowledge, I would like to put the normal cliche we have in the Bible, which goes that for the lack of knowledge, my people will perish. Majority of our population don't seem to be well. Okay, they have so many conditions with regards to their health and so on and so forth, as a result of not knowing what to eat, how to eat, and when to eat those foods. All right. So, for an individual to be able to do diet healthily, one, the person is supposed to know all these instances. And aside that, we have a particular group that, apart from knowing all these, they themselves might even be dietitians, might even be lecturers of nutrition and dietetics in the various institutions. But yet, they find problem with being disciplined when it comes to what to eat, how to eat it, and when to eat it. So, a short answer I can provide is that it takes knowledge backed by what? Discipline to be able to do healthy diet.
Okay. Okay. So, with the knowledge you've acquired as a physician assistant, I know you've done studies from a certain level to where you are now. Can you give us the types of food and what combination to do and at what time and all that? Can you give us something small about it?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question too. All right. When it comes to the food an individual is supposed to take, the time to take it, and the combinations to make, I think it drives us back to a topic or a particular word I would say balanced diet. All right. So when we talk about a balanced diet, this has to do with a diet that has the correct proportions, okay, of all the food classes human beings need or animals might need, only to grow normally. Okay? So the correct proportions of the food that an individual needs and its correct quantity to be able to grow what? Normal. So when we take a balanced diet from my notion so far has to contain what we call the four-star diet. And when we mention a four-star diet, I know it's something that looks new in your palate, but then I would probe further. A four-star diet is a diet that has to do with a portion segregated for animal source of protein, then a portion segregated for legumes, a portion segregated for vitamin A and vegetables, and then a portion segregated for what we call staples. So when we say the animal source protein, we all know most of them as in the form of what? The meat, the fish, the egg, including the milk, and so on and so forth. Then coming down to the legumes, it has to do with the lentils, the beans, and what have you. Then when we come down to the vitamin A rich foods, it has to do with the carrots, the palm oil, then the veggies or the green vegetables we might think about. Then finally, the staples, which has to do with the cereals, the grains, the yam, the tubers in general, and then the roots. All right. So for an individual to be in that state, where of course, combine all these four, you have to have a fair idea that these groups I have mentioned, which is called the four-star diet, your food you are eating on every base should contain at least something from all these sources. And aside that, when we come to the quantity, you should know what you really need more. Okay? You should know what you really need more. I know going further, I may speak about it. But then for an individual who knows nothing about the state as it stands now, let's say I am an individual. I don't know what I need right now when it comes to the food proportions. Okay. Normally, we need most quantities of our food to be that of the calories, those that are coming from the carbohydrate basis and the fat basis, if I should say. Then, when we beat it down a bit, the second highest quantity should come from the aspect of the vitamins and then the minerals, okay, which of course are going to do the protection. Then the third aspect will come from the protein basis. So percentage-wise, I would say that about 60 approximately should come from the calories, and then somewhere 15 to 20 should be within the protein, and then maybe 30 downwards should be within the what? Those that are protecting us, or the vitamins and then the minerals.
Thank you very much. That was very insightful. So our next question, the next question I have for you is, what happens if a person or an individual ignores healthy diet?
Thank you very much for this question. But to get to the question, I would like to speak on one particular statement that is ascribed to the father of medicine by name Hippocrates. This man existed 400 years before Christ. He made a profound statement, which of course, if it is he that made it, I do not know, but it's ascribed to him. And the statement goes, I quote, if you fail to eat your food as medicine, then you will have to eat medicines as your food. Unquote. So, coming back to your question, I would say that when you fail to eat healthy, or when you fail to diet healthy, you are prone to what we call malnutrition, which of course has to do with the fact that you do not provide your body the requisite amount of nutrients, food quantities, including the timing in which you do them to your body. And as a result, the body would have to react to what you're doing to it by becoming more nourished. And when an individual is malnourished, it comes with this whole package, which of course, sickness is of no exception.
So, we'd like you to go a little more into the malnutrition because people trivialize a lot.
All right.
They don't see the effect of malnutrition. And then they give us excuses. Why would I have to put so much into my eating when there are other things to take care of? For instance, some will say there are bills to be paid and all that. I don't need to focus on so much eating and all that. So,
okay. Thank you very much. On the aspect of malnutrition, just as I quoted the father of medicine, and from the definition of healthy dieting we just had, it has clear that there should be a deliberate act in there, an intentional act in there, which of course you can't give your body just anything. Okay, so when we talk about malnutrition, it's when your body, okay, is deprived of the requisite nutrients and the quantities your body needs to be able to function normally. So when it's deprived of it, or you give it over above what it requires, we say you are malnourished. And so that brings the two extremes, okay? Overnourished and undernourished. So this is what happens physically. With those that are overnourished, most often what we see in them is what we call obesity. Okay, they become obese. In that sense, we do what we call BMI checks to be able to see that this individual is obese. And I don't know, the word BMI has to be the body mass index. Okay, that's what we do often in the health sector. Basically, to see if an individual is within the ranges of weight they are supposed to gain or they are off the whole road. And aside that, the undernutrition, these people are basically mostly recognized to be those that are suffering from many deficiencies. Okay, so you would have somebody suffering from what we call kwashiorkor. I don't know if you've heard of it before. We've heard of people suffering from marasmus. We've heard of people suffering from scurvy, beriberi, and the rest. So all these ones has to do with the fact that the quantity the body needs is not given. Okay, so it gives us the two different extremes. So when we talk about malnutrition, there is a statement we have in Nutrition and Dietetics, which has to do with the double burden of malnutrition. This is to tell us that in this society, if we should take about 10 different people, almost about 6 of them, 3 for under and 3 for over, we are going to find them in this particular population. So in a single population where we have the two different extremes occurring at the same time, we call it the double burden of malnutrition.
We are wrapping up. Also, so we're wrapping up. But then I want to ask you for quick advice. What do you have to say? What are your last words concerning healthy dieting to our viewers and listeners?
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so back to my viewers. What I would love to say as a resource person for this particular day's program or discussion would be that it would be good we pay keen attention to what we eat, the amount we eat, and when we eat them. And aside that, if there is any change we've noticed in our system, which of course has to do with health aspect, and we go to visit doctors in the hospital, usually what I know is that they have to probe further to know what you eat, how you eat it, and when you eat them. But then if those questions don't pop up, ask your doctor, what do you think of me when it comes to my nutritional base? Of course, they might even request that you go to see a dietitian, who of course is going to deal with the aspects of what to eat, when to eat them, and so on and so forth. So I would say that we pay keen attention to what we eat, when we eat them, and the amount we eat, only to be healthy. And if there is anything we don't know about what we are eating, and of course it's causing problems, let's continue to see the doctors. That is why we train them for it. So we go and we ask, and they are going to show us the way. That's the only advice.
Great. Thank you so much, Dixon.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for answering the invitation once again, and for being a resource person. You've said quite you've said a lot, given us information. Personally, I have gotten informed on certain things I didn't know, and I hope our viewers have also learned something. So we want to thank you very much for coming on the show.
It's a pleasure.
Viewers, thank you so much for being with us. I believe we have all learned something. Next week, God willing, we are going to come back to your screens with healthy dieting 2, where we are going to break down we're going to go into the nitty-gritties of what to eat at what time. We're going to go into details concerning healthy dieting to help all of us improve on what to eat at what time. Na itimiama ya pomodin esita. Minimum say we share bibi. Na o twese na e be say share. Na me sure. Bye bye.